Welcome to The Explainer. If you're selling your home in Davenport, Florida, you've probably heard the term seller concessions. And, it can sound a little scary. But what if I told you it's actually one of the smartest tools you have? Today, we're going to break down how to use concessions to sell your home smarter, not harder.
Right off the bat, let's just bust a huge myth. When you hear the word concession, you immediately think you're losing, right? That you're just giving money away. But what if that's not the case at all? It's all about the strategy.
So that begs the question, if it's not a weakness, what's the secret sauce here? How can giving a little something actually help you walk away with a better deal in the end? Well, that's exactly what we're going to get into.
So here's our roadmap. First, we'll talk about what concessions even are. Then, why they're such a big deal in the Davenport market right now. We'll give you a simple playbook for when and how to use them, and most importantly, how to make sure you're protecting your own bottom line.
Okay, let's jump into our first point, changing how you think about this. The biggest hurdle for sellers is seeing this as just giving money away. But let's reframe it. A concession isn't a cost, it's an investment in getting your deal done.
Think about it like this. You could just slash your asking price for the whole world to see, which honestly can look a little desperate. Or you can offer a very specific solution to a very good buyer who is this close to making it work. A concession is a private solution, not a public price cut. It gets a good sale done faster and often a whole lot smoother.
Okay, so what's actually in this toolkit of yours? When you understand the different kinds of concessions, they stop being a blunt instrument and become a set of really precise tools you can use to negotiate.
So at its core, the idea is really simple. It just means that you, the seller, agree to help the buyer with some of their costs at closing. And why is it so powerful? Because for a lot of buyers, the biggest barrier isn't getting the loan, it's having enough cold, hard cash to actually close the deal. In the Davenport area, you're going to run into these four main types. Closing cost credits, those are perfect for a buyer who can easily handle the mortgage payment but is a little short on cash for closing day. A rate buydown, that's a huge one. It lowers their monthly payment, making your home way more affordable. Repair credits are fantastic. They solve a problem from the inspection without you needing to find and manage a contractor. And hey, even covering some prepaid fees can be that little nudge that gets the deal signed.
So why is this all of a sudden such a hot topic, especially here in Central Florida? Well, it all boils down to the one thing every single buyer is obsessing over right now: interest rates.
The climb in mortgage rates has totally changed the game for buyers. For the very same house, their monthly payment could be hundreds and hundreds of dollars more than it was just a couple of years ago, and that puts a major squeeze on the budget of even the most qualified people.
This chart just says it all, doesn't it? Take a look. A buyer who could comfortably afford a $380,000 home when rates were low at 3%. Well, now at 7%, they qualify for a lot less. It's the same person, same job, but their financial world is completely different.
And here is the absolute key takeaway. Offering a concession is not a sign of a weak market. It is a sign of a smart seller. You're just adapting. You get that for today's buyer, the biggest pain point isn't always the price of the house, it's the monthly payment and the cash they need to bring to the table.
Okay, so we know the what and we know the why. Now let's get into the fun part, the how, with a little concession playbook. Because knowing when to make a move is every bit as important as knowing what move to make.
So when do you play this card? Well, 1, if your home has been sitting for a bit. A concession can spark new life, way better than another price drop. 2, if you're up against new construction that's offering all kinds of deals, you have to compete. 3, if you've got a great, qualified buyer who's just a little bit short on cash to close. And finally, they are the perfect tool to fix an inspection issue without blowing up the whole deal.
But, and this is a big but, it's not always the right move. If your house hits the market and you're flooded with offers in the first weekend, you are in the driver's seat. So hold your ground. Don't throw a concession out there if you don't have to. Let the market show you its strength first.
This slide right here nails the strategic difference. A price cut is like taking a sledgehammer to your listing for all to see. It's a public announcement that can actually attract lowball offers. A concession, on the other hand, is like surgery. It's a precise, private deal with one serious buyer to solve their specific problem, all while keeping your home's public value high. And that brings us to our last and honestly our most important point: protecting your bottom line. Because at the end of the day, it's all about one number, right? What you actually walk away with, your net.
This is a really critical concept. I know what you're thinking. A $10,000 concession is still $10,000 out of my pocket, right? And yes, it is.
But here's the magic. Because the official sales price of the home doesn't change, you're helping protect its appraised value. And you're not just helping yourself, you're helping maintain the property values for your entire neighborhood.
Let's just look at the raw numbers here. Your home is listed for $375. Scenario 1, you cut the price to $365. Scenario 2, you sell for the full $375 but give a $10,000 concession. In both situations, look at that last column. You walk away with the exact same amount of money. But in the concession scenario, the official sale price stays higher. That is better for the appraisal, it's better for your neighbors, and it costs you $0 extra. It's just a smarter way to get to the same end result.
So, what's the big takeaway here? The game has changed. It's not just about getting the absolute highest sticker price anymore. The seller who wins today is the one who puts together the smartest deal, a deal that solves the buyer's real-world problems, gets everyone to the finish line, and protects your home's value for the long haul.